guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And we're digging back into Rob Zombie's big-ass beard again.
Oh, God. Look out for the scabies. Here I come.
Welcome to the darkness.
Reach out and touch faith.
What we're looking at tonight is we are doing a script review of Rob Zombie's first, I don't know if it's first, but one of his early
drafts,
Halloween drafts for the script. We found it tonight. We went through it. There was a lot of differences, and we're going to talk about all of them with you right now.
Surprisingly, the pages had a little bit of butt crack crust on it.
They smelled weird. But before we go on our magic school bus ride into Rob Zombie's dark beard, I wanted to tell you guys about Surfshark VPN. You can get a Black Friday deal right now for this VPN for 83% off with 4 months for free. VPNs are amazing if you're like me and you're tired of your local stations putting on the Bengals every week because nobody in their right mind wants to watch the Bengals. So you search out sports somewhere else and then you get those 1,000 dangerous malware-fueled pop-up ads. VPN will help keep your IP safe. It will help keep those pop-ups from popping up. And also, it's Black Friday right now, so you can search deals as if you're anywhere in the world. You can also search Netflix as if you're anywhere in the world, so you can see what movies Britain has in Netflix that they don't have in the States. You can pop all around everywhere. You could even be in the frickin' Philippines. This is an amazing deal for VPN. It's the cheapest one out there that I've seen, and it's Surfshark. You want to check it out in the link below. Again, 4 months for free, 83% off Surfshark. It is so hard for me to imagine, dude, the way that the odds are, like, it's so hard for me to imagine.
I thought you were going to say the economy.
That him walking in there and handing them this script. Yeah. Not just what made the director's cut, because even in the director's cut, you know, they have the rape scene, which is disgusting and awful and pointless, so stupid, and terrible. And it is literally...
It adds nothing.
It is the worst of Rob Zombie in a nutshell, the rape scene that's in his director's cut. But there's moments like this in here, and starting right off from the get-go, at the beginning of the script, when in the classic breakfast table scene where he's like, "Morning, boo."
Take that damn thing off.
I'll probably queer. I'll crawl over there and skull fuck the shit out of you, flapjack titties. That whole thing, which, by the way, shout out William Forsythe. As bad as that script was,
so good.
He was awesome as Ronnie. But in this one, it's even worse.
You really kill all them worthless animals.
Though they don't go as deep with the dialogue, it's worse because the first thing that happens is, you remember when Judith goes upstairs to call on Michael. In the movie, he's washing his hands from the blood, and
after he cut the ears off or something.
Yeah, he killed a rat.
Good. Fuck them. They carry fucking disease.
In this script, Michael goes to a lockbox and he pulls it out, and he pulls out a tape recorder, which we're going to mention a lot in this, the tape recorder. Yeah. He presses play on the tape recorder, and it's the sounds of all of his past pets, cats, dogs, whatever, crying while he murdered them, like the sounds of them being murdered.
He starts rubbing his dick to him.
He presses play on that. That's going in the background. He puts on the clown mask, and then he opens up a scrapbook, and in the scrapbook, it is hardcore pornography with the words mother and cunt and bitch written on top of it, and you see that whole thing going on.
Yeah, and then he puts on Meredith Brooks, "I'm a bitch," while he's doing it. Now, you know what? The way that you're it's so, by the way, the description that Mike's giving you, it sounds surreal. I mean, if you read it, it's even more surreal. But if they'd thrown Meredith Brooks' bitch in there, it wouldn't have been out of place. It was so fucking weird.
It would have been a dance
This
scene.
Little boy was literally rubbing one off to fucking a scrapbook full of dead animals, and then listening to their screams as they died, and be like, "Oh yeah, that just gets going." Holy fuck, you Dahmer motherfucker.
Judith, when she goes upstairs from the breakfast table, she pulls the covers off, and Michael is masturbating to the scrapbook of pornography and dead animals, because he also had Polaroids that she had in the principal's office later on, and he's jerking off to it, which is why you got the scene in the movie where she's stroking the milk bottle. She's like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. This scene specifically where he's jacking off the dead animal. If that had been one of the opening sequences of Halloween, God, like what the fuck?
Yeah, it leads even further into the darkness. But
Rob Zombie, you tool-loving bastard.
After that happens, you know the scene in the movie where Michael kills his bully. His bully's still in the movie, and they make fun of him because his mom's a stripper and all that. But in this one, Michael targets Jennifer. He targets these 2 little girls.
I wish it was Jenny from Forrest Gump. She's the big villain.
She is a villain, but
fucking
she's a horrible person.
She's a hooker.
She's a terrible person.
She almost gave him AIDS.
I know. But no, he targets this girl. She's coming off the bus. Her name's Jennifer. She's 9 years old. Michael's watching her. He goes up to her. He says, hey, there's a candy tree in the woods. There's a Halloween tree that gives candy. And she's like, nuh-uh. And he's like, yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, of course, Jennifer's going to believe a kid that looks like he smells like pee. That he's going to know where a candy tree is in the forest.
She does.
Like, you fucking stoned?
They go out into the forest, and Michael pulls out a dead cat out of a tree. He's like, this is my cat, Ronnie. And he's like, touch it. Touch it.
Touch my dead pussy. Touch my dead pussy.
And she's like, oh.
It's so nasty. It's so gross.
He leads her further into the woods in this script, and he says, hey, she's like, I want to go home now. I don't want to touch a dead cat. And he's like, okay, well, here's
You don't want to touch my dead pussy?
this Indian tunnel that'll take you right to your house. And she's like, sure.
Like, was he like fucking... First off, was Jennifer the equivalent of Forrest Gump?
Jennifer was very smart.
It's like, hey, I got an Indian tunnel that'll take you straight to your fucking house.
Jennifer's parents should have taught her better.
She's this kind of girl that would believe, like, hey, if you dig far enough, you can reach China. Like,
I can see Russia from my back porch.
God damn, Sarah Palin.
But she goes up to this empty grave, or this dug grave. He pushes her into it, and he beats the shit out of her until she's dead.
Pretty much the scene that happened.
Exactly. Yeah. Only in this one, as Rob Zombie's wanted to do, he takes it a step further. Once the 9-year-old girl is dead, young Michael Myers pulls out his wingy and pisses on her dead body.
Here's the weird thing. Where the fuck did your mind... This is Michael Myers. This is Halloween. That was your mindset that you literally thought it'd be a cool idea to have little Michael Myers pull out his dick and piss on the body.
Yeah. This just...
What?
A bit over the top. So after,
even Jason was like, what? Like, somewhere he was like, what?
A lot of the scenes following take place the exact same. Ronnie's death. A lot of the scenes take place the exact same as you see in the movie. One big difference, though, is when he goes to kill Judith, Michael goes up and he starts touching Judith, and she's like,
oh, yeah, I'm gonna see.
But in this scene, in Rob Zombie's mind, he's literally, young Michael Myers walks up there and is fondling and rubbing her breast.
Literally, the script says fondling her tits.
Yeah, and she's like, talking to her, the guy that she thought it was. She's like, you're such a horny dick. And she turns around or whatever, and it's young Michael. And then after her death scene, so after he kills her, he goes and he picks up Boo, Laurie Strode. And he's sitting on the steps, and when her mom gets there, a big difference is he takes the tape recorder and he presses play on all of his killings of the night, Ronnie and everybody else, and the sounds of these people screaming and dying is playing, and when his mom walks up to him, Deborah, he's like, the music's, or not the music, but the screams are playing, and he's like, it's over now, to his mom. So that's a difference.
Oh my God, Ronnie! Somebody give him some clippers. This beard's fucking weird. But yeah, yeah, the weird thing, yeah. You know, almost like
8
Rob.
Mile on my Nordic track.
Yo, God, I'm really sorry you want me to have a heart attack. If you show his hands coming down to her tits, like, they get bang bang, bing doom. I called the witch doctor. He told me what to do. He said, ding ding, do the dog. It's just so weird. Like, first off, so you're okay. So if this is the movie now, you've already got to the point where he's masturbating to dead animals in a scrapbook. He's listening to their death screams. Then he kills a young girl, pee-pees on her.
It's called nuance, you whore.
Then goes to his sister's room. Fuck, you dirty incest, and plays with her titty nipples, and then it's like, I'm gonna kill you after that because it got me hard. Like, it's weird. Like, the whole fucking thing is weird.
But even after that, it gets even worse because one of the cool scenes of the movie is when you see it, the way that like the reporters come out and they're doing the newspaper clippings while they're wheeling out the dead bodies and stuff. But in his version, one of the reporters was like, yes, he stabbed her 17 times and sodomized her. Young Michael sodomized his sister multiple times using the baseball bat that he killed her boyfriend with. Mm-hmm. So he took the bat and he sodomized his sister with the baseball bat. Like, God damn, like, leave some shit to the fucking imagination, Rob. Michael's mom gives Loomis some old film footage on, like, the 8mm or whatever, and she's like, I know you think he's a monster, but watch this. This is my little boy. He's not a monster.
Yeah.
I was talking to him, and some
that
of the
ain't me, dog.
That ain't me. That ain't me. Some of the dialogue is really bad, but Michael Myers is talking to Loomis, and he's like, no, that's not me. He was like, I killed that person. But the dialogue's bad because he's like, I killed him. He bounced. He bounced off his head. He says he bounced in my head when I killed him. See, and it's like, what?
I would have ended that right there. Like, somebody could have put a highlighter through that and like, that's not good. What the fuck, Rob? Come on, get out. Can you please stop drinking goddamn Tito's?
There's multiple points where he's like, I can do anything I want.
Or Tito's.
I can do anything I want.
First off, Rob Zombie was drunk. There's no doubt that he had Tito's with him. But when that, because I would have, like, that scene, if he had just said, I killed him,
Yeah.
In a very flat, weird way after he saw it. Like, I can imagine Michael looking at the videotape of himself when he was younger and he was freer and he was happier and shit like that. And he was like, I killed him.
Yeah. But this is literally taking away the mystique because there's no...
No, it is. But I mean, if we're gonna play this game,
yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah, but it takes away, like, if the movie itself took away the mystique by making Michael Myers a trailer trash killer, this first script beat it to death because he's like, no, I killed that version. Because he even says, he was like, well, why do you wear the mask? And he's like, I wear the mask because it feels good to hurt people because they can't hurt me. And they like really dive deeper into it. What I do like is that Loomis at one point in the script says, he was like, Michael's obsessed with these fucking masks. He was like, you don't understand. He was like, Michael wears different masks for everything he does.
Even shit.
He's like, if Michael has to take a shit, he wears his take a shit mask.
Duty Brown.
If he wants to stare out a window, he wears his window mask.
You know his poop mask is like Duty Brown. It's got like little nuggets. It's got little peanuts in it.
He takes his mask and Michael tells Loomis, he was like, I'm not talking to you anymore. You're dead.
Yeah.
So from that point on, Michael never spoke to Loomis again. In this version, this orderly comes over and he puts Michael, I guess, basically in Smith's Grove version of General Pop. This kid comes over and he makes fun of Michael's mask. He's like, not good, not good.
No, the guard did.
No, the guard took him over there, but the kid is the one making fun of him.
I thought the guard did.
The kid's making fun of his mask, and he's like, not good, your masks aren't good. Michael, in this scene, takes a pencil and stabs him in the throat and kills him that way, so that's that death. But then Loomis comes in, and he goes the fuck off on the orderly. He's like, why the fuck would you put him in there?
Well, you know, the weird thing is, and this is the one time I'll defend what we got in the original Rob Zombie Halloween, because this shit is too fucking crazy in a lot of ways, because I feel like the slow withdrawal of Michael, the slow degradation of what, or he perceives the degradation of himself, and the slow decay of his mind, where he starts slipping more and more into himself, and then the nurse comes in, is like, couldn't be you. Like, that was way better refined than this. Like, the fact that you would put a mentally ill patient that had stabbed his sister that many times into a general population makes zero sense.
And following that, when Michael goes back to his room, he's laying in the fetal position. We'll show you guys here exactly the dialogue between Loomis and this orderly is fucking hilarious, by the way. There's some great Malcolm McDowell Loomis-isms going on, which we'll show you now.
Go ahead and ask me. I'm the top-headed shrink in this nut house. Go ahead and ask. Can you cure him, doctor? Can you cure him, doctor? Can you cure him, doctor? These words have been echoing in my head so long they've worn tracks into my brain. How do you find cured? Would I let Michael move in with my family? Play with my children? Hell, would I even trust him with my German Shepherd for 5 minutes? The answer is no. Those eyes don't lie. Those eyes have stopped living. The so-called windows to the soul are dead. Empty. This one is lost.
Fast forward after this is Loomis just explained, hey, I've given up on him. Like, there's no saving this guy's soul. So he gives up on him, and this is where it gets very different. I actually like some of this. We fast forward to the future. Loomis is retired. He's given up on Michael. He's moved on. At some point in that script, they brought up Michael for not a parole, but they agreed to release Michael to a low security.
They were moving him.
Yeah, to a low security prison.
Hence Halloween 2018.
Right, and the guy's talking to him, and he's like, it was like, what does his Dr. Loomis has to say about this? And the guy's like, Dr. Loomis hasn't had anything to do with this guy in years. He's retired, so it's up to me, and we're going to move him to General Pop. And then you find out Loomis is retired, and then you get to meet Loomis's wife, Ellen, which is fucking wild. She has a role in the movie and everything.
Was she mentioned in the? I know she was mentioned in the comic books, but
not in the movies though.
She was never mentioned in the movies, but I think in the comic books she was murdered by Michael.
Yeah, in the comic books, there were some great scenes.
So it was really good. It was really cool to see that side of Dr. Loomis. See, that's the difference. You want to keep Michael in the dark as far as his history and his backstory and why he's doing what he's doing and his motivations and like the evil that he is. Like the idea that he is just this force that goes out and kills is scary enough. If you want to explain and give a little bit more illumination on the characters like Loomis and his backstory, I'm all for that.
That's the way
like, if you had done what they did, dude, they could even done a reverse in Halloween, Rob Zombies, shown Loomis already retired and shown his wife at the very beginning of the movie, and then work its way back
Yeah.
to why he's like this.
I actually like what they did in these scenes with Loomis that were eventually cut out of it. So Loomis's wife is talking to her friend, and she's like, Halloween's coming
She's
up.
like, he doesn't cook anymore. I don't know what's going on.
She's like, Halloween's coming up, and she's like, does anything crazy happen? And she's like, she's annoyed with it. She's like, every single year people call about, the news people call, they want to talk about Michael. In the movie, they're doing this whole big thing about how he made this book, and they reference the book that he wrote about Michael in here, but in this one,
But not
Loomis
like not the fucking professor.
Right.
Where
Yeah. In this one, Loomis is very reluctant to talk about Michael. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with him. And they go to Loomis talking with his buddy, and Loomis has now become like a photographer. He's gone to Haiti, and there's this whole scene where they talk about...
Fucked up. It was fucked up, though.
Yeah, Loomis is telling his friend, he's like, these people went into the neighborhoods of Haiti and gave people machetes so they kill each other off, and I've been taking pictures of it. And the guy's like, you're fucked up. Why would you do that? Why don't you go to Cancun?
The lady asked him to do it. You know what? It's weird, and I wonder if Rob Zombie cut this part out, or if he redid this whole thing, because honest to God, it felt more like in line with what Donald Pleasance's character would have done.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to make his own Loomis. He wanted to make his own thing.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because it actually does fall in line something with what Donald Pleasance's Loomis would have done.
Yeah.
Because if we look at Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, Loomis was writing his memoirs away and retired and done with all of it, and he didn't want to hear any more about Michael Myers.
Yeah.
In this scene, it almost feels like an expanded version of that scene in Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, and someone told Rob, like, hey, it's too close. Rob's like, fuck that! Give him a dildo!
you get a really good peek into Loomis's life post Michael Myers.
It's really sad, though, because you can tell the artistry that Rob Zombie has. He could do a good scene. I mean, it was you're right. The whole thing with him and the wife and the friend was great.
Yeah, and so when he's talking to his friend, eventually, this is right around the time where Michael Myers is about to be transferred. So somebody from Smith's Grove calls. Loomis talks to him. Loomis finds out they're going to transfer him, and he doesn't even know Michael's escaped at this point. And he says, "Oh my God, holy shit!" So he goes and he packs all of his shit, and his wife's screaming, "Please don't go!" And he's like, "You don't understand. I have to." What the hell is going on? Tell me what's happening.
They're moving him! Those simple-minded, bureaucratic idiots!
Sam, you promised Michael was out of our lives. Sam, you swore.
I have to stop this!
What do you think you're doing with that? Do you think you're gonna kill him?
If necessary.
You can't take a gun on a plane.
Damn it! You're right, I'll get another.
This is crazy. You're acting like a crazy person. Calm down. Tell me what's happening.
Ellen, listen to me. This is the end. I have a promise. I have to be there. I have to stop this. You know what this means.
Just go.
Fucking slut.
But what's really interesting here is when Loomis is on a plane going back to Haddonfield, he has a nightmare about Michael Myers killing his wife. So in this nightmare, Michael Myers is a grown version of Michael Myers, but in Loomis's mind, he's not wearing the Michael Myers mask. He's wearing the clown suit still. So you get to see, and I imagine it was fucking cool looking, dude. Loomis, when he's having this dream, you get to see Michael Myers, but wearing the clown suit as a gigantic fucking adult. And he has his wife Ellen on her knees, and he slashes her throat right in front of Dr. Loomis. That's when Dr. Loomis wakes up on the plane and it arrives. But I imagine that would have been a cool ass scene.
Dude, amazing.
When Michael escapes, and he escapes pretty much the exact same way as he did in the movie, instead of having Deborah Myers, Sherry Moon Zombie, just kill herself in the trailer, Michael finds her. He seeks her out. He goes to the trailer and he stands over her. And this is where it gets really fucking bad. And it gives you a real fucking hint that
can't believe you, Rob.
Michael Myers holds up the picture of Boo to his mother, who's sitting there on the couch in the trailer, and literally says in a dark, raspy voice, he goes, "Boo." Boo.
Yeah, it's like
he says like four fucking times.
You need it.
Boo. He says boo. Michael speaks in this movie like he does in H2.
You gotta go poo poo.
Fucking boo. And she says, she tells him, she's like, I never wanted to adopt my babies. She's like, but I had to because everything that was going on. And then she, instead of killing herself alone, she kills herself
in front of Michael.
And she tells Michael, she's like, she tries to tell her she's dead, but she goes, you'll never find her. And then she blows her brains out in front of Michael.
She ain't here, and I told you a long time ago I was never gonna give you Boo. And he's like, Boo.
You know how stupid that fucking looks? Like, first off, it sounded dumb as shit. If I were the guy that was filming, and that was like the real scene, I'd be like, so when's the real one?
But
by the way, I think that even defenders of Rob Zombie Halloween 2 can admit how dumb that would be.
When he speaks,
and it's not even like it's
don't
not
let Michael speak.
Well, it's not even. Yeah,
Simple.
first off, that's
Just
the
don't fucking do it.
Yeah, but this is like early part of the movie.
Yeah,
and he's walking in, boo.
Well, and he does it again. The scene in the movie where he has Laurie Strode in the basement, and he shows her the picture, and she's got her dead friends around. And he shows her the picture, and he's just like, look at it. In this one, he actually says boo again. He goes boo.
God. Boo! I'd say shut your fucking mouth when you're talking to me.
No, that ain't me, dog. Hey, boo!
Shit on Deborah's desk.
Most of everything else plays out the exact same way. There's an additional death scene where he goes to the cemetery to get Judith's grave. He kills the old man, the gatekeeper. He crushes his windpipe and then beats him to death with a fucking rake.
As you do. When they tell you no, fuck that.
And there's a lot of stuff in the movie that's not in this script as well, like the chase scene that they went back and refilmed. There's not a long chase scene. There's no pool. Michael does at the end of the movie pull. They do is that the boogeyman? Yeah. He pulls her out of the cop car, takes her back to the house. Loomis comes up again. And in this version, though, Loomis begs Michael. He's like, please let her go.
Did he beg her in the? Didn't he?
He does. Yeah, he does.
He begged him the first.
She
one.
also begs him. She's like, please let me go. Michael lets her go. And then, right then, though, is Michael goes after Loomis. So in the movie, remember, he pokes out his eyes.
Right, he launched at him,
Yeah, but in this one, he jumps at Loomis, and right then, the whole police force is there. They fucking blow Michael. They blow him. They shoot the shit out of him.
Nothing like that fucking blow.
It reads, Michael's getting shot like tons by the police force. And then he falls down, and the script literally says, verbatim, Michael is dead.
First off, that's stupid.
He kills Michael.
You would think 100% Rob Zombie even called John Carpenter, which he didn't give a shit about that phone call.
Right.
And said, hey, I just want your blessing. John Carpenter's like, hey, am I getting paid? He's like, yeah, okay, good, fuck off. You would think that Rob Zombie would know. You cannot put in a script, Michael is dead, in all caps letter, and send that to the Accods. You think that's going to go over well?
And not just that, but like the way they did it, even if they meant for this version of Michael to be dead in the movie, the way that scene, by the way, is so much better in the release movie than it is here.
100%.
Because in that scene, you got the pool, you got Michael stalking towards her, and then she gets on top of him.
That was great.
And she's screaming, and the gun goes off.
You don't know. Because you don't know.
The blood goes off on her face, and you imagine like he may be dead because she
fucked his face up real good.
Yeah, she shot him point blank in the face, and there's blood all over her. And then in this, they do the thing too where they show. In this, there's a whole song that young Michael sings and stuff like that. But it's the same, basically. Like it's the same as the movie, where they show the flashbacks or whatever. The theatrical ending was way better than this.
Well, let me ask you a question. And I know this is blasphemous, but I'm just saying, to prevent the Armageddon of what is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, if this particular film had ended with Michael Myers dying, Rob Zombie's version, and we never had to hear about it again, it was a one-off, it was an alternate reality, never happen again, it won't fucking be fucked with ever, no one's ever gonna touch that, would you be okay with it?
Okay with it, yes.
To prevent Halloween 2.
But I'll surprise you with this take. I will accept our current reality.
I was gonna say you have a vagina.
By the way, I will accept this current reality where we have H2. Because as much as H2 takes a giant dump on his characters and is
takes a dump on the whole lore,
terrible in so many ways, I'm still glad it exists because it's fun to talk about.
The first, it is something to poke fun at. It's like,
and it didn't kill the franchise, right?
Thank God for the stinky kid in class because we would be bored today. That's really mean, but it is true. And truth be told, it's weird. The first 35 minutes should be removed from Rob Zombie's Halloween, and the first 35 minutes of Halloween 2 Rob Zombie should be expanded on for the entire fucking movie. It's so strange how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I feel like there was I guess you're gonna agree the same way. The Loomis scenes in this movie definitely should have been added. But if you add that into Rob Zombie's Halloween, you have to change the whole fucking tone of the movie.
Of H2 specifically, because Loomis seems like a good guy because a family.
You know what? And again, I don't know if it was because Rob Zombie actually got wind of the fact that that's actually falling in line with the Donald Pleasance character, and he was like, no, I can't have that. And he was like, I'm gonna make him an asshole. I don't know, but I mean, I feel like why wouldn't you just continue on with what you in this script specifically, this draft. The Dr. Loomis that we got was the Dr. Loomis I think a lot of people would have been like, yeah, I totally get it. And if you'd gone into Halloween 2 with that same Dr. Loomis, then it wouldn't just be, hey, Brad Dourif and Daniel Harris and Scout Taylor Compton were the three good things about Halloween 2. It would be also Malcolm McDowell's Loomis.
Yeah, and to be fair, like Malcolm McDowell's Loomis was good.
It was dog shit in the second one.
In the first movie, though, it was good.
Oh, it was good in the first one. Yeah,
he was good in the first movie. So, like, ultimately, what I take away from this, and by the way, if you're wondering, what about Bob and what about all this stuff? Everything else that we did not mention pretty much went down the exact same way as it did in the movie. That's why we didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Like the Bob death, all that stuff went down the exact same way for the most part. But for me, I absolutely hate the extra disgusting shit. I hate the sodomy with the bat, the killing of a 9-year-old girl, all that stuff. I'm so glad that they pulled that out. The Michael jerking off, all that. I don't need that.
It's dumb.
That alone taints this
What are we in, Detroit Rock City Part 2?
That alone taints this entire script and makes it worse than what we got in the theaters. By the way, also in this script, I don't know if I mentioned it before, the rape scene is very prevalent. It's the exact same as you saw in the director's cut. All that trash
Makes no
and
sense.
fucking trash,
Makes no sense.
which is Rob Zombie's own fucking detriment. Apart from that, I hate all that shit. That was trash, but I do like in this script the extra Loomis stuff.
It's good.
I thought it was really fucking good.
It's really good.
But again, the ending in this one's not as prevalent. It's not as good.
But again,
The
you
ending
agree
in the
though.
movie
But
is
you
better.
agree if you do the Loomis stuff in this script, you have to change the whole tone of the movie.
Not necessarily. I mean,
Because
I think they could have had that.
because
in there.
he wouldn't be a professor. He wouldn't be an active psychologist anymore.
Right.
He wouldn't be doing. He wouldn't be on
book
the road.
existed, but then he would. I think it changes the tone of H2, but maybe not this movie so much
Maybe,
because
yeah.
Loomis was likable in this movie enough.
Yeah, I think that overall, like, I wish they'd kept the Loomis scenes in just so that Halloween 2 would be forced to be different.
Yeah, I agree with that. So,
Yeah.
guys, that is the one of the first drafts of Rob Zombie's Halloween. What did you guys think about all that we talked about today? We love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wimp in you.
Hey, y'all want to come up in the clubhouse and jerk off to some dead animals?
Morning, boo. Sir, I'm not going to tell you this again. Please refrain from leaning on the counter.
Okay.
Now, as I was saying...
Trust me, I heard you the first time. I understand it's against you.
No, let me do that again. Start from the beginning, yeah.
Sir, I'm not going to tell you again. Please refrain from leaning over the counter. Now, as I was saying...
Trust me, I heard you the first time. I understand it's against the fucking rules, but just trust...
Fuck, do it again.
All right. Sir, I'm not going to tell you again. Please refrain from leaning over the counter. Now, as I was saying...
Trust me, I heard you the first time. I understand it's against the fucking rules, but just try and open your ears and listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Sir, again, I don't appreciate your sarcastic tone and your use of vulgar language.
You don't like my tone? Look, I need to know the whereabouts of the Myers, baby. And I need to know right fucking now!
What are you going to do on October 31st?
What are you gonna do on October 31st?
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you wanna know about the darkness?
I said, God damn.
God damn you, faggot!
I said, God damn.
A lot of people don't know the darkness that goes inside their hearts.
I said, God damn.
God damn you, Michael! What are you gonna do on October 31st?